So 50mm is now a focal length that I will probably gravitate a lot to when shooting locally here in Hiroshima. I'm a photographer who leans towards scenes, aesthetically pleasing and composition-driven photos, and 50mm seems to be a good focal length to facilitate the process of taking them. So I challenged myself to shoot exclusively with a 50mm equivalent focal length for the past months, and it was not a very strict challenge. It was kind of loose. I don't want you to believe that I was out every single day shooting for 3 or 4 hours. To give you some stats, actually I was out 10 days out of 30, so it's roughly once every 3 days, and I kept about 200 deliberate different compositions in my Lightroom library. They are not all bangers, they are just worthy enough to stay in my library and be used for this kind of YouTube videos or posted on Instagram, for example. Actually, I will do my best to show most of the picture I took over the past months in this video, but I may use all the photos that I took last year to illustrate some of the points I will make. I will make sure to put a note somewhere so it's easy for you to understand what was shot in the past months and what comes from the archive. Last note on the gear, I shot with various systems. I used my Sony a7 IV with the 50mm prime lens, the f1.8 FE. I also used the Fujinon XF 35mm on my Fuji X-E4, which equates to roughly 50mm. I even used the zoom lens that I parked at 50mm, and obviously the experience shooting was better with the prime lenses. So coming from almost 2 years of shooting a lot with my Ricoh GR3 at 28mm and my 35mm prime lens on the Sony a7 IV, at first I noticed myself taking a lot of photos vertically in portrait orientation. I think the reason for that is at 28mm and at 35, when you're shooting landscape orientation photos, you still have a good blend of the foreground, the midground, and you can also include part of the sky. And obviously when you're shooting with a tighter lens like the 50mm, depending on your environment, it might be difficult to have a good blend between all these three elements. So that's why maybe wanting to replicate the same sort of shots I would have with wider lenses, I tended to shoot a lot vertically, but after coming back from the first few photography sessions and noticing that pattern of shooting a lot vertically, I tried to be a bit more intentional and really look for horizontal compositions. And I think it was a good exercise because with this tighter lens, when you shoot horizontal, you have to sacrifice a little bit more. You have to decide whether you include the sky or not, depending on where you are. And this is a very good composition exercise, I guess. The second thing I realized is how in general I took a bit more time to compose and just to take the shots. I was not rushing as much as I would do when using a 35 or 28mm lens. I think it is because with a tighter lens it is more difficult to take moments and to shoot in a more reactionary way. You have to make your shots, you have to look around you, find compositions and adjust your camera, adjust your position and really fine-tune everything. That in the end takes a lot of time, and I think it is something good to take away from this experience and try to apply when shooting with any focal length, because there's a place for rushing and looking for moments, looking for characters, but a lot of time you will benefit from taking more time and don't rush when you're out taking photos. So one of the things I like the most when shooting at 50mm is the results I get from it. Of course, I like the process, like I said before, but in my opinion, the photos taken at 50 are pretty looking. I don't want to get into the debate of what focal length is the closest to what we can perceive with our human eye. I just think that 50mm is quite close to it, or rather, it is close to what we can see when we are focusing on something, because with our eye we can almost see 180 degrees. It is just that the part we can focus on and really observe and really have a full grasp of what's going on is roughly 50mm. It could be more like 40 I've heard of, but 50mm just seems right. And the amount of compression you get at 50 and how tight it is and how it forces you to be selective with what you include in the frame, all makes for good looking and pretty looking photos. Another point I really enjoy with the 50mm focal length is how it is tight enough to start digging into more like abstract compositions. Again, I think it's because of the amount of compression and how selective you have to be, that lets you notice maybe some colors, some interesting patterns in the streets or wherever you are taking photos, and you can really focus on that. And the tight field of view lets you remove some of the distracting parts, some of the elements that would bring back the photo to a more real, less abstract world when shooting wider, 35-28. Even though you could have a vision for that, you could notice those abstract patterns of colors, of shape in the street. It is difficult to compose because regardless of how you position yourself, you will almost always end up with undesired elements in the frame that will add some visual noise and add some visual reference that will remove the abstract character of the photo. And the third point I really liked about the 50mm is the layering possibilities it offers. Again, thanks to the compression, you can really compose your frames, compose your photos almost like a painting, adding different visual elements, layers of colors or shape or patterns with which you can play with the aperture to make them look more or less blurry. In the end, you can have some photos that look a bit more flat, a bit more 2D, but in a good way, I mean, just like a painting, like I said before. So yeah, I really like the results, the aesthetic, and how good looking photos taken at 50mm can turn out to be. And this is the kind of photos that I would happily have as a wallpaper on my phone or printed somewhere to decorate my walls. So like I said in the intro, I see myself using the 50mm focal length and even tighter potentially to shoot a lot locally when I'm here out and about in Hiroshima. I think a tighter field of view opens up a new dimension of potential photos you can find and composition you can find with your environments in the streets. As a photographer who likes visually pleasing and composition driven photos, when shooting wide you can have nice photos of the typical landscape or the big landmarks of around where you live. But if you keep shooting that over and over, it can get old quite quickly. So I think using a tighter field of view lets you be more creative and less reliant on the light, less reliant on the landmark, but just use any element of the environment to compose very fresh and visually interesting photos. It is not hard and static statement I want to make in this video because I know you can get all sorts of pictures with all sorts of different focal lengths, but in the way I do photography and my approach with it as of lately, using a tighter field of view might be a good solution to keep shooting locally fresh and not relying on always going on a trip somewhere to rejuvenate and have some excitement doing photography. So I shot both with my Sony a7 IV, which is full frame, and my Fuji X-E4, which is APS-C. And I found something quite interesting that I never really thought of before, is that at the same exposure levels, at the same aperture, you will have more in focus and more details over a longer depth of field with the APS-C camera. And with my approach of today, which is not relying too much on the bokeh, I'm actually leaning towards taking the opposite route. I really like having a lot of details. The APS-C sensor really helps achieving that, because if you are shooting and there's not a lot of light, if for example you want to keep your shutter speed at 100th of a second, you can still have the aperture at, I don't know, f5.6. The APS-C sensor camera will give you more details, more depth of field, and with the full frame camera with the same setting, f5.6, you will have more bokeh, which in some scenario is something you want. But with how I enjoyed using 50mm over the past months, I really prefer having more depth of field actually. So I just found that quite interesting, experimenting that by myself. And we always hear gear does matter, gear does not matter, you don't need full frame, all sorts of things, but actually it does matter. And depending on the shooting experience you want, and here more specifically about the results you want, gear does matter. So what you have to do is choose wisely. So if there's something I didn't really like shooting at 50mm and more broadly speaking with this kind of tighter field of view, is how difficult it can be to capture special moments. Like if you're out on a day where there's a lot of things happening, a lot of funny looking people, a lot of actions happening around you, it is quite tricky to capture all that at 50mm. Some of the great street photos taken over the year by a popular street photographer, capturing moments that almost look unreal, they tend to be shot at 28 or 35, and it works well at those focal lengths because you can see that crazy thing happening and you have a lot of the context and you can locate where it's happening. And at 50mm first you lose some of the context, and it is so tight that it is difficult to capture these moments, because if you see something happening, even if you react quick, 50mm is quite tight, so it is difficult to frame and have everything in the frame. And also because it's a longer lens, depending on your shutter speed, if you're moving quite quickly, you might end up with a motion blur, which is less of a problem when shooting as wide as 28, for example. And the second point, which is not actually very negative, it has some positive and negative to it. It's how versatile 50mm can be. If you are somewhere where the streets are quite wide and it's all spreaded around, it might feel even a bit too wide, but not really wide enough. And at the same time, if you are really in a jammed environment, it might be a bit too tight and you don't really know what photos to take. Versatility has a lot of good things. I think I would be happy to experiment with going on a trip somewhere with only a 50mm and really capture everything through that specific focal length. But at the same time, when you know you have some versatility, you go out and you don't really know if you will go for wider scene or if you will go into details. Whereas if you go out with a 28mm or go out with an 85 or even a 135 or something quite tight, you kind of know and it is quite clear what you're looking for. And as always, it's when you lack clarity, when you don't really know what you're looking for, that you will end up not having the best time and not having the best results, because you were right in the middle, not really knowing what to do and what photo to take. So that was pretty much it. I really enjoyed shooting at 50mm a lot. It will probably be even more difficult now to choose whether to shoot at 28, 35 or 50, but I start to have some sort of a pattern that helps me decide what lens to shoot with, depending on where I go. If it's locally, I might gravitate towards longer lengths, and when I'm traveling I could bring two lenses, 28 and 50, or just bring a 35, and occasionally, if it's on my Sony a7 IV, punching at a 50mm, so I have the versatility of both 35 and 50 with still good enough resolution. So yeah, that was it for today's video, and see you next time. Bye.